The Azazel Covenant is a grand book indeed. First of all, I would like to comment on the physical appearance of the book. It is hardbound, which I like because hardbound books last longer, but has metal at the edges. This was really a labor of love and thought. The pages are very thick, and it just feels like it's got weight to it. I mean, it almost feels like a weapon. That thought just came to my head. Um, with Azazel being the weapons master, you know. But when it talking about what's inside the book, it talks about the rebellion of Azazel, and it doesn't focus on the sexual aspect or going for the daughters of man. What it talks about is how Azazel didn't rebel because he had beef with heaven. What happened was Azazel rebelled because he didn't feel that the assigned place was enough, and he wanted to explore the rest of creation of God that was not yet explored, and that was why he rebelled. So when it comes to Azazel, the book encourages rebellion not for the sake of rebellion or not for the sake of hating, you know, heaven or saying that heaven is wrong. It's just that some of us have this call to do more, um, to seek out more so that we have a better quality of life or we can add to the things that we already know. There are many people who are fine with the part that they play in society, but there are many who feel constrained, um, and kind of, I guess, sometimes trapped. And so Azazel encourages, that freedom of expression and going to find out and discovery and going into that darkness to bring that darkness to light. So, with my personal experiences with Azazel, I've already told you about that, but I'll repeat it again. Azazel encourages finding out about the feminine divine and embracing that. Azazel encourages getting knowledge from places where people usually wouldn't go talk to that bum on the street. Like being aware that knowledge can come from places that people won't usually accept. Like the dude missing all his teeth. Most people wouldn't listen to that person because of their appearance, but Azazel encourages looking beyond that. Azazel also encourages embracing your intuition and the things that you want to go explore. Society gives us a list of what we can do, and sometimes we have to go above and beyond that list, and we have to assign our own tasks and our own jobs and our own titles. Azazel encourages the unorthodox approach, thinking out of the box. So, in this book, they have a lot of ways to connect with Azazel that are easy, nothing too elaborate. Um, I've come up with my own ways. I've used bits and pieces of the examples given in the book, but I've kind of done my own thing. But I do appreciate that you have ways that are easy for somebody who may be a beginner, but you can also use these ways if you are an adept. And it's still easy to contact Azazel. The thing is that he appreciates putting in the work. Okay, there are no shortcuts. He encourages relying upon yourself, independence. And you have to understand that. Once you understand that and you get into that habit of doing things on your own, he's not like the angel that pushes you and pushes you and pushes you. What he is once he figures out that you're doing the work and you're genuine about it, and you're not about power simply, but also about gaining wisdom and using the power that you have, the power that's already within you, in a genuine manner, then he can be very kind. Okay, but as with any angel, like, they're not going to let you slack up. Another thing about Azazel is that he will make you face everything that you're ashamed of or hiding. That will come out into the light. Okay, so it will come out to the point where you'll be embarrassed, possibly, until you can't be embarrassed anymore. And then you're at the point where you're just like, screw it, you know? And that's one of the big things about working this path, is that you can't be ashamed of what you do. You can't be ashamed of being your genuine self. And in this society, everybody is hiding who they are. And because of hiding who they are, a lot of people are very depressed. A lot of people don't thrive in life. And we can't be worried about what other people think. Like, we have to be cautious sometimes because of the people that we're around. And we have to be aware of what we say and to who we say it to. But we can still be our authentic selves. And we can still find people who are not just accepting, but who are supportive to who we are. The book also includes a blood pact with Azazel, which is very serious because, I mean, blood pacts, okay? When you do this, remember, it only takes a drop. Like, all your DNA, all your information is in that one drop. So you don't have to go crazy. This is not a movie where you have to open up a vein and, you know, let it gush out or fill a chalice, you know. Sometimes it's as simple as smearing one drop on a sigil. Very good book. I appreciate it. The author is called Nemirion 71. Okay. So I would say if you're interested in learning about the fallen, definitely go grab this book when it pertains to Azazel. But the focus isn't necessarily on the fallen. It's on why they fell, the first 200 watchers. The focus is, a lot of it's on Azazel, but when you work with Azazel, the focus is on yourself. Shadow work, the inner work. Okay, bettering yourself. Another thing that this book does cover is the comparison between Azazel, Satan, and Lucifer, which is very interesting because we know that the story of the Watchers supposedly predates the fall of Lucifer. So it's interesting that it goes into that. All right, so that's all I got about that. If you get the book, if you've read the book, let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you've ever had any experiences with Azazel. Let me know about that too. All right, peace.